ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be but your man Lou? Yeah.
The LouieTeeNetwork is powered by MusicHead University. MusicHeads, classes in session. Turn me up. Enroll on YouTube now. Link is in the description.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T, here on Divisional Round Overtime. First game of the Divisional Round kicked off with the Chiefs, their #1 seed overall in the postseason, and the two-time Super Bowl defending Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Houston Texans, the 4 seed in the AFC. Really good game between these two. I thought that the Chiefs did exactly what I thought they would do. They've struggled to score all season. They've played excellent defense. They've done just enough. And in the biggest moments, Travis Kelce stepped up. He now has 100-yard 9 100-yard performances in his illustrious NFL career, the most in postseason history. He was outstanding tonight. And, Mahomes just, did what he does. It wasn't a flashy night. It wasn't the best night. Could have been a lot better if Hollywood Brown holds on to that one dime from Mahomes. But ultimately, when plays had to be made, Mahomes made them. The touchdown throw to Kelce being, the biggest of the night. But yeah, a lot of conversations going to be surrounding the calls that benefited the Chiefs in this game. And there's a narrative out there that Mahomes gets away with murder and the NFL takes care of him like the NBA takes care of LeBron and things of that nature. But when it's all said and done, this was about the Chiefs getting it done, and the Texans is simply not, right? Kamimi Fairbairn. I mean, hell, the opening kickoff of the game, they let the Chiefs rip off a 70-yard return. There's a fumble forced. They don't recover, though. Great hustle by Samaje Perine to recover that fumble. I don't know what the hell was going on with the guy Boyd. He's snapping off, throwing his helmet, pushes the special teams coordinator. Like, what is wrong with this dude? I was really lost and perplexed as to what it was going through his head. But ultimately, it's that return that set up 3 points. And defense did a tremendous job. The missed field goal by Kamimi Fairbairn, and then the missed extra point. That's 7 points in a game that you ultimately lose by 9. And then the blocked field goal at the end, right? That's 10 points that their special teams unit surrendered in this game. In a game you lose by 9 points. Now, obviously, excuse me, I think I got the wrong score. I got 23 to, yeah, no. I think it was 23. In the game, you lose by 11. I think they lost 23. Am I tripping? Was it 23-12 or 21? Let's see. Yeah, 23-14. Excuse me. I got the Texans score wrong. 23-14. I thought it was a 9-point game. That's my bad on the score. But in a game you lose by 9 points. No. Wait, time out. Let me get a 30-second. He missed an extra point. How did they get 14? Let me hold on, man. Something's not right. Something ain't right here. Hold on. I might be tripping. Okay, let's see. Okay, they got a 2. The Chiefs must have took a safety. I turned the game off at the end, so they must have got a safety at the end. Okay, that's what happened. I had already done everything. They must have got a safety on the last play or something like that. The Chiefs, but something happened at the end where they got a safety. I don't know how I missed that, but I knew the game was over. So anyhow, you that's 10 points, right? The missed extra point, the 2 field goals, that one block, one missed from 55, and then the field goal given up on the first kickoff of the game when the defense had to come out and get a stop after the Texans, the Chiefs started at the Texans like 19-yard line after the big return, and then you couple that with a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for the dude Boyd taking his helmet off and flinging it. Like, what the hell was going on with that? Anyway, you can't lose your composure on the road when you're already not the better team. You can't make those type of mistakes when you're playing against a team looking to three-peat. Mahomes has never lost in the divisional round, now 7-0 overall all time, which is just insane. He doesn't lose in the divisional round. He's never played. Well, last year was his first time playing a road divisional round game. He's never played a road wild card game before, and he's only played one road, championship game, and that was last year as well. So you all the odds were stacked against you if you're Houston, and you couldn't afford the mistakes that you made tonight. But ultimately, the Chiefs made the plays. If I was ever wrong about an edge rusher, I think there's certain players that you're wrong about and definitively wrong about. For me, George Karlaftis is one of those guys that I was definitively wrong about coming out of the draft. I just likened him to Ryan Kerrigan coming out of Purdue, and I was wrong about him, man. He's way more athletic. He can definitely bend the corner way better than Kerrigan. He's just a better pass rusher than Kerrigan was in his career. 3 sacks in I want to say all 3 of them came in the fourth quarter. Like, what? When the game was on the line and they needed it the most, George Karlaftis stepped up. That Chiefs defense stepped up, and they got it done. I think Vegas had this game as the lowest scoring game of the weekend for a reason. I told you I didn't think a lot of points was going to be scored. I said I thought the score was going to be 26-13. It was 23-14. I was close, right? I had 26-13. That's 39. The over-under number was 41.5, I believe, for this game. And they ended up scoring 37 points total. So we knew it wasn't going to be a ton of points scored. 2 really good defensive ball clubs, and they showed it, man. If you're a Commanders fan or any fan of a team out there that's looking at building a defense, that's what you're looking for. These 2 teams, especially what the Texans have, in the secondary, with those 2 corners and Lassiter and Derek Stingley Jr., man, those dudes are locked down, and they make it tough on the opposition. And again, the Texans are the blueprint in terms of, if you're going to go for it, that's how you go for it, right? You go out and you go get a Danielle Hunter, a guy that can go get you double-digit sacks. You go and spend the money now while you still have your quarterback on a rookie deal, and you can take advantage of that cap space that you're saving by not having to pay your quarterback now. And so that defense is that's a championship caliber defense in Houston. Unfortunately, the injuries beset them on offense. We talked about that. That's why I didn't think they had a chance in this game. And it's not, I talked about this all season long, that in critical moments, their game management is awful, and they're one of the worst teams in situational football. And I get it. I think they might have been down to 1 timeout at that juncture of the game. I'm not sure if they were on that critical 4th down, but at that point of the game, you can't rush to the line of scrimmage and snap the ball. You have to call timeout in that situation. If you're not prepared to go for it there, it's too big of a down. Like, guess what? If you don't get that 4th down, it doesn't matter how many timeouts you have left. The likelihood is you're going to lose the game, okay? So you needed to call that last timeout if that was the only one. First of all, why do you only have 2 timeouts left in the game at that juncture is beyond me, first and foremost. If that is in fact the case, I can't be assured that they only had 1 timeout, because after that possession, they may have used timeouts on defense. So I just remember them only having 1 timeout after they got all the way down there at the 2-minute warning when they had to settle for the field goal and it got blocked. They only had 1 timeout left. But whatever the case may be, you had a timeout. and you should have used one of them, right? Whether it was 1, 2, or 3, because you don't rush that particular snap, because if that doesn't work, the game's over. The game is over. And they didn't call a timeout. And so I've always said DeMeco Ryan and his group, they struggle in those moments. They've struggled all season in those moments. And it reared its ugly head again today. But like, I thought he should have challenged the play. Now, it didn't ultimately come back to hurt them. But Hutchinson, who was fantastic tonight, I made jokes about him earlier this season, like, who's he going to throw the ball to? Hutchinson? Well, he was outstanding tonight. He got a first down on a critical third down. They said he was short. He had the first down. And luckily enough for them, they ended up getting it. Now, they actually had a procedural penalty. It made it 4th and 5, and then C.J. Stroud ended up running for it and getting the first down on 4th down anyway. But again, he should have challenged. And the fact that they were in a 4th and 5 because of a penalty and, almost didn't get it is crazy, right? You got to, this is the playoffs. You got to lock in. You got to be hyper-focused. But when it was all said and done, I thought C.J. Stroud played his ass off. I thought this was one of his better performances of the season. He hung tough. He banged his knee up early in the game. He fought through that. He used his legs. I've always said when C.J. Stroud is using his legs, he's much more dangerous and the best version of himself when he's willing and able to run. He was willing to run despite banging his knee up early. I thought he gave them a shot. There was only one throw where I went, CJ, what were you doing? And that was the one where they were pinned deep in their own territory on that third down, where the pass where Reed collides with his teammate and gets knocked down and stays down. He threw that into like triple coverage and it should have been picked off. That was the one throw tonight where I go, what are you doing? Whereas he had like 4 or 5 of those throws last week, and he threw an interception last week. This week, he really gave his team a chance. And without his performance, and they ran it really well with Joe Mixon. Like, the Texans, statistically, if you go look at the numbers, outside of the sacks, they dominated this game. They dominated defensively. They dominated offensively. They had a 17-play, I think it was 72-yard, 17-play, 10-minute drive, capped by Joe Mixon, like 7-yard touchdown run. Well, they got the ball to start the third quarter, and the Chiefs did not see the football until the 4:28 mark of the third quarter. Texas took the opening kickoff of the third quarter and didn't give it to the Chiefs until the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. The Chiefs hadn't touched the ball since 2 and change in the second quarter. That's how long that the Texans had the football really to finish up, outside of a knee that the Chiefs took to end the first half. They dominated this game. But where they didn't dominate was on special teams and penalties. And some of them you could argue were bogus. And then obviously the timely situational plays, right? That's where they hurt themselves. They didn't make plays when they had to have them. And the Chiefs did. And the special teams was really the difference in this game, if we're being honest with one another. For Kansas City, it's the formula. It's what they've been this season. It's what we expected. I can tell you this right now. I don't know if the performance we saw tonight is going to be good enough to beat Baltimore or Buffalo next week. Just being honest. Now, Mahomes and company know how to turn it up a notch when they see elite competition. So they may turn it up to another level, right? We know they are capable. We know they got it in the chamber. So we'll see if they're able to do that or not next week. But, I mean, this was a solid performance, don't get me wrong, and the defense stepped up in some critical situations. They had some guys go down, but all of them returned to the game. Hopefully everyone's okay, especially Reed there late. But they had a cute play in the red zone where they had the two speedsters coming across in motion in different directions. And Mahomes flicks it out there and it goes to, Xavier Worthy, and he almost gets into the end zone. And, they're good for some red zone trickeration, but They struggled, did Kansas City in this game, being consistent and moving the football. They had some tremendous field position today. The opening kickoff, they went backwards a yard after starting at the Texans like 19-yard line. They went backwards, or it might have been the Texans 13 or something like that. They went backwards a yard and settled for a field goal. After the sack on 4th down by Karlaftis, they were starting at the Texans 40. I don't know if they gained but a yard, and they had to punt. Like, they had some tremendous field position today, and they did nothing with it. And you got to credit that Texans defense for that. The run game wasn't great tonight, but it really hasn't been great, for a while now. And, the pass game, it seems like it's still like a work in progress outside of Kelsey. I think that I don't think DeAndre Hopkins touched the ball tonight. Hollywood Brown had the one, drop. It was not really a drop. It was a great play by the defender to rake it away from him. I don't think he had a catch on the night. I don't think anybody else had a catch other than Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce. Like, that's an issue. They got all these weapons, Juju Smith-Schuster, nobody else touched it. So they gotta be better on offense, right? And then Jawan Taylor is an issue at right tackle. He got away with at least 3 false starts today. This man is lining up in the backfield. Like, they created that penalty based off of dudes like him lining up, creating an advantage for yourself. I don't know why they stopped calling that on him, but he was clearly lining up in the backfield. And if I'm a opposing coach, I'm complaining about that so that I make it well aware that this dude's in the backfield, so that they're checking for it and they ultimately get him for a flag. So the Chiefs have some things to clean up, but just know they're the Chiefs. And till somebody beats them, they're still the 2-time Super Bowl defending champs, looking to get their 3rd in a row and set, an NFL record and etch their name in NFL lore where no one else has been, and I don't know if anybody else is going to go. So another win for the Chiefs. Let's go inside the numbers real quick. Brought to you by BetUS, and we'll come back on the other side and talk about this game real quick in the comment section, and then we'll get out of here.
Inside the odds.
Looking for a new book? BetUS has you covered. Fastest payouts in the industry. Get up to 10% back on your net losses twice a year as long as you've been active within the last 6 months. And also, here's the big kicker. If you head over to betus.com, use the promo code YouTube150, you'll get a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. You get a 125% sign-up bonus additionally on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. When you use the promo code YouTube150, make sure that you bet responsibly. Don't bet more than you can afford to lose, and do not chase your losses. Very dangerous activity there. So with this game, and I want to kind of highlight some of the pretty cool prop bets and different specials right now that BetUS has going on their site. Here's one of them. You can bet on what is the most likely Super Bowl matchup. What do you think is going to happen, essentially? And obviously, the odds tell you, which ones are the least likely to occur. Pretty much anything with Houston in it, anything with Washington in it, anything with the Rams in it is gonna, move the number up pretty substantially and have you having a chance to make some money. As you can see, some of the bigger bet, anything with Kansas City in it is safe money, right? Because the Chiefs have a chance to be there. As you can see, Washington getting there, playing against the Chiefs, still 20 plus 2,400, right? Like, obviously the Commanders are the 6th seed. They're the lowest seed remaining in the postseason. So anything with Washington in it is going to definitely net you a big payout if it were to come to fruition. As you can see, anything with the Chiefs is going to be pretty low on the totem pole. Chiefs, Lions, obviously the 2-1 seeds. That's going to be the one with the highest odds. But when you look at some of these other ones, Texans are now eliminated. So the 20,000 plus 20,000 Texans Commanders, which that was the longest of shots, right? Clearly, the Texans are eliminated, and the Commanders are going to be playing here shortly. They may be eliminated by the next time I see you. So we'll see what happens there. But Texans Rams is out. That was 14,000 plus 14,000. Texans Eagles was plus 4,500. Texans Lions was plus 3,500. So anything with the Texans in it was huge, was big money. I mean, again, the Commanders are going to be the other thing that nets you a big payout here. So Texans against the Commanders was plus 20,000. That was the biggest one on the board. Commanders Bills plus 3,500. Commanders Ravens plus 3,300. Chiefs Commanders plus 2,400. So obviously anything with the Commanders in it is going to get you some big bread if you're willing to slap a little something down. So bless you. Just wanted to throw that out there as that's something that intrigues me. Texans are now eliminated and the Chiefs are moving on to the AFC Championship yet again. What is new? So let's get to the comment section quickly, and then we'll get out of here. I know we're getting up close on the Saturday night game between the Lions and Commanders. McAllister Nicholas, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. Mob, you know what to do. Show McAllister some love. Welcome him with open arms. Welcome to the squad, McAllister Nicholas. JD Sports Talk, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. JD Sports Talk writes, Louie, you nervous? How pumped are you for this game? Not nervous at all. I'm super pumped. I'm anxious. I'm not nervous. There's a big difference. Same thing that Jaden talks about. You get the little butterflies in your stomach, but I'm not nervous. Nervous would be me shaking. Like I've been nervous tons of times. But again, there's a level of peace and serenity that comes over you when you got one of those ones at quarterback. We got one of them ones. So that's the equivalent of being prepared for a test. I'm not nervous for a test that I studied for and I feel like I'm ready to ace it. I'm only nervous when I get a test and I'm not sure if I'm ready to ace it or not, right? We'll see, right? That's not how I feel because I got one of the best in the game. So my confidence level is extremely high. So not nervous, but pumped. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm at a 12. I'm super pumped for this game. Late Night Rager, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB mob. You know what to do. Show Late Night Rager some love. Welcome him with open arms to the squad. Look forward to chopping it up with you. Welcome to the squad, Late Night Rager. Sounds like we might be having one of those if we get to win tonight. So with that said, gonna go ahead and glide to the side and allow y'all to enjoy this game. I'm gonna head over to my watch party and fire up the stream for that. And we'll watch this thing together as the Commanders take on the Detroit Lions. They got to do all of the, bells and whistles, national anthem, all of that good stuff. So I'll go ahead, get set up for that. So we're playing for a spot in the NFC Championship game, right? All the talking, it ceases to exist now. The game is here. I'm excited. I'm so glad we don't have to deal with the frigid temperatures. I was looking at everybody bundled up in that game at KC. And, there is a path to where the Commanders don't even have to go outside, right? Played outside against Tampa, but that was warm, right? You were in Tampa Bay. You were in Florida. You're inside tonight against Detroit. If the Rams win, you could be inside again next week. And then the Super Bowl is in New Orleans. So, again, one can only dream, right? One can only dream. One thing at a time, though. Let's try to take care of business tonight, and we'll see what happens. But win, lose, or draw, you know where to find me. I'll be here after the game meets its conclusion. But if you want to see what I'm going through as the game's happening, come check out the watch party. So with that said, I'm out of here. You guys have a good one. Chiefs move on to the AFC Championship game, 23-14. They will await the winner of Ravens, Bills. I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, you guys have a good one. Take care. Peace.